go to this one, another night game. This one's at 8 p.m. on Fox. Number 11, BYU, is a 2.5-point road favorite at Cincinnati. Speaking of games that are enormously significant in their conference, this is a very big deal in the Big 12. If BYU wins out this week against Cincinnati, next week against UCF, it is likely going to mean a rematch between BYU and Texas Tech for the Big 12 championship.
Mm-hmm.
I say likely because there is still a chance that Texas Tech could lose next week on the road at West Virginia, in which case that game could be against Utah, could be against Arizona State. It could still be against Texas Tech. There are a lot of possibilities right now in the Big 12. But in case you're interested, there is a 94% chance that it's either going to be Texas Tech or BYU winning the Big 12.
Right.
The other teams still have a chance, but between Utah, Arizona State, and Cincinnati, I believe I saw there's a combined 6% chance that one of them is going to win the conference. So, two teams, very good teams, both on offense and on defense, especially in the red zone. Often these are the types of games where we talk about a team losing because they end up settling for field goals. And so that is where my mind goes first when I look at the tendencies of these two teams and these two defenses. Somebody is going to have to hold the other down in the red zone, and my hunch is that whoever does that the most is going to be the one that emerges victorious. Am I saying anything that is next level, that is galaxy-brained in terms of how football works? No, of course not. Whoever scores the most points wins. That's the way this damn thing was played. But I am looking first and foremost at the red zone because one of these two teams has to give on that side. Otherwise, we're going to get like a 6-3 game, which I don't expect. So I'm looking first and foremost to see who is going to be more effective on defense, specifically in the red zone.
So, yeah, Cincinnati's been bend but don't break. The defense, especially against the pass, has not been good, but they are good at forcing threes or getting off the field on fourth down, whatever, in the red zone. BYU's the better team.
Yeah.
I don't think that is a controversial statement, but I don't think you judge BYU based on what they do against Texas Tech. I don't think you judge BYU based on what they do those first 6 weeks of the season, 3 weeks of the season, whatever. If BYU is excellent, if BYU has a legit chance to win this conference and look better than they did against Texas Tech, obviously they have to win this game. This is a much more meaningful game than what they've played recently, just because there's more on the line. It's on the road. They have not been great on the road this year, right? When you look at the Iowa State, the first half, the first 2.5 quarters, whatever, of the Iowa State game, they go to double overtime against what I think is a good Arizona team, but nonetheless, they needed every second and maybe a bailout call at the end of regulation to win that game. Colorado, I think, was pretty dicey. This has not been a team that, anywhere, anyone will beat you by 2 touchdowns. That's just not BYU this year. And that's okay because, once again, winning is a skill. BYU executes. They come out with a W. I think BYU does the same thing here, but I think it is by, once again, the skin of their teeth. So I have BYU winning this one 28-24 and needing every single second to do so.
I like what Cincinnati has done this year.
Yep.
This was a pivotal season for Scott Satterfield. And so if they come away from this thing with 7, with 8, with 9 wins, this season is definitely a step forward compared to last.
Yep.
He has done a good job this year. If we stress test the resume, though, kind of to your point.
Yeah.
The best win was over a 4-loss Iowa State. And now each of the last 2 weeks, they have played teams with considerably better defenses in Utah and Arizona, and they lost both those games.
Yep. And they lost the Utah game by a lot.
A lot. That wasn't even close.
With game day in town. Yeah.
And so I think there is something to be learned from that. I like BYU a lot in this spot. I think they're more battle tested. I think the way they responded in particular against TCU after losing was really impressive.
Agree.
It would have been very easy to go 1-2-3 Cancun and just peace out. But instead, as I think you pointed out, it might have been their most complete game of the season. They looked awesome against TCU.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to agree. I don't think this is a blowout because BYU is not a blow 'em out kind of team. But I got 27-20 BYU.
Okay.
Winning this game on the road and giving themselves an opportunity, again, to get back into potentially a rematch against Texas Tech.